I had my meeting with the providers, and it went pretty well, for the most part. My daughter's doing really well, I've got to say. I'm very impressed. Sometimes it's hard for me to even put it out there. It's kind of like, wow, do I dare say it? I don't want to jinx it, but
Don't jinx it.
the social worker is completely checked out. I tried to have a conversation with her before the meeting. She never responded. She had somebody else take over during the meeting, so I don't know what's going on with her. And then I get a very quick response that she's leaving for the rest of the week due to some sort of unfortunate incident, whatever that means. She's the one's creating a treatment, like an aftercare plan, a discharge plan, and that makes me a little nervous, to be very honest.
I understand the difficulties and limitations. I deal with my own, but we have got to do better.
No, you mean I've got to do better. If we got a missing teen, stop taking it out on me and do something to find him.
In domestic, I had to watch you people on a daily basis. I saw more concern for filling federally funded beds than in helping reunite families.
We've got tens of thousands of kids to care for. This is one mistake.
This is a kid. So's the one in the hospital with half a throat.
You don't like my job performance? Call my supervisor.
Fine. I'll explain why you've been arrested.
Hey, for what?
Negligence, child endangerment. You were assigned to that household, so I'm holding you responsible. Officer, take.
We had a scheduled phone call last night at 5:50. My daughter never showed up. Her dad did. We waited for 40 minutes. Well, I waited an hour. He waited 40 minutes. She never got on. I didn't bother calling because this has happened every single time. So the call didn't happen. And then she called me later that night saying she thought the call was at 7. I don't know that I believe that. I think she was doing something else and she didn't bother to tell me. And I don't know. But she wanted to do the call later last night. And it's like, you know what? I'm not playing this game. We have scheduled calls. You make it or you don't. So in the beginning of this meeting, I was talking to the providers about the phone calls, and I was saying they're not starting on time. They're going really late. It's a lot of arguing. So we discussed making the calls regimented. Like if she's not on time, we're still ending the call at the time that it's supposed to end. Staff will intervene if there is yelling. And if that time isn't working for her, then we'll change times. It's fine. We also discussed that we should have an agenda for each phone call and that she would make the agenda. And that works for me. And they asked how we would go over the agenda, and she asked if she could call me. Obviously, she calls me in between these video chats, and we can talk about the agenda then. At first, she wasn't on the call, and it was just us talking about these phone calls. Her dad was trying to connect in, but it sounds like he was having technical difficulties, which seems to happen quite a bit. He finally got on the call by the time my daughter was in, so it was like 40 minutes through. He missed all the good stuff from the providers. So about 40 minutes in, when my daughter gets on, he gets on. And my daughter is immediately not happy to see him on there because their last interactions have been him hanging up on her. So she said, I don't understand why my father's on here. I don't know why he has guardianship. He wants nothing to do with me. He's never involved. She has a bit of a point there. He is somewhat involved, but he's not consistently involved. He clearly has a lot of anger built up towards her. I mean, I get that. She has done things that would make people, but he doesn't handle it the best.
Oh, what a day. Maybe the headlines will cheer me up.
And so she told him, I don't want you on this call. He wants nothing to do with me. And so he did what he always does, and he hung up.
That's it.
Fuck.
I knew it. I can believe it. I can't fucking.
in front of all the providers. And I think the providers have seen that she's reached out to him and that he's consistently the one checking out. She's doing really well. She looked great. She got a haircut. They have a hair person there, I guess. She got her haircut. She's been going to her groups. She's done yoga. She's done meditation. She's actually met with a substance abuse person. She says she's doing that for me, not for herself, because she doesn't really want anything to do with that person. But whatever. I'll take it. If she wants to do it for me, more power to her. She's doing really well. I mean, this is the best she's been. And if I don't seem, I'm like really happy, but I'm afraid to be happy. Does that make sense? So when she's doing this well, I'm thrilled about it. But in the back of my mind, I can't get out of my head that, yeah, but when she gets out and she starts using cannabis, we're going to go through this whole process again. And I can't do it again. So there's that.
See that? Because I will not be doing it again.